So let me share something personal with you because if you don't cry, you don't get. And I put this picture here because my daughter, it's almost 3 years old now. And when she was a baby, she would let me know whenever she was hungry. She would cry. So it's the same thing with engineers. Is the difference is obviously that we're not just gonna cry at work. But here is the problem. Like engineers are trained to solve problems, but in many cases, unless we learn this on our own, we are not taught to advocate for ourselves. And the truth is that closed mouths don't get promoted. But most engineers wait to be noticed, hoping the hard work will speak for itself. But in today's market, silent effort equals missed opportunities, and those who ask grow, and those who wait, unfortunately, remain stagnant. So let me show you what it looks like when smart, capable engineers get stuck waiting. So here's the silent engineer, right? And I put a little clown face here, not to be demeaning, but it's just to make it funny. So imagine Pepe, right? We're gonna give him a really funny name, like Pepe, like a really famous Real Madrid player. Like I love soccer. Let me know in the comments, like if you like Real Madrid, you're watching the Club World Cup. But hey, so imagine Pepe, right? That he's got 10 years in, he's got a great track record, but unfortunately, the paycheck hasn't moved. Zero promotions in the last 5, 6 years. And but here's what's happening. Like Pepe is not, he never asked for a raise. He just hoped they see his value. Pepe had ideas, but waited for the right time to share them. Pepe felt stuck, but didn't want to be seen as arrogant, as braggy, as somebody who was too ambitious, right? And if this sounds familiar, this is really not a performance issue. It's more of a positioning problem. If you already have the expertise, the experience, the technical acumen, it's more so a positioning problem based on my own experience and based on what I've seen other engineers go through. Now, engineers aren't underpaid because they lack skill. They wait for permission to grow, lead, or even speak up. Now, this could be for a variety of reasons, right? It could also be cultural, or it could be personality wise. Like, for example, if you are somebody that is more agreeable, maybe a little bit introverted, and you like to keep it to yourself, you may get overlooked a lot for promotions. And it doesn't mean that you can learn the skill of speaking up, of assertiveness and social confidence. Another reason to cover here, the first bullet that I'm talking about here, it could be also cultural because in many cases we are taught to be humble. Right? So I'm Hispanic. I'm originally from Peru in South America. And one of the things that I learned when I was growing up is, hey, respect your elders. The like Spanish people are heavy, heavy, heavy on respecting your elders and not speaking when older people are speaking. And that can serve you when you're growing up and you're younger. But if you keep the same mentality when you go into corporate, I'm not saying they should stop respecting people, but it gets to a point where you have to speak up without you being asked. I think that's the key there. Sharing your opinions, sharing your thoughts without nobody coming to ask you. Like just share them. Just if people are talking past one another and nobody is giving you the floor, even though you've raised your hand, or maybe you say, hey, you want to say something, just step in and say what you're thinking. And don't stop sharing your thoughts until you're done, as long as you quit, right? So we can get into like really intricacies and details there to develop your assertiveness or your confidence and your ability to speak up. But I want to leave it here for a second, so that way we keep outlining the overall problem on what really keeps engineers stuck. Again, we're talking about engineers that are already in industry a couple of years in there, and now they want to take their career to the next level. Also, another problem is there's the fear of being too much or too ambitious or too abrasive. Like you feel, or you may think you have this internal negative beliefs that people are going to be starting looking at you differently because you want to earn more, you want to make a bigger impact, and that can really hold you back from taking your things to the next level. And but here's the thing, like the silence that you are having, that can cost you $20,000 in a promotion or another opportunity, $80,000 in 4 years, right? And that really holds you back from building the life you want for yourself and your family. So the advice you get in these situations makes it worse when you go to the internet because it doesn't really help much, right? Because here's some bad advice that many engineers get. And that's the fact that, hey, just work harder, you may hear. This keeps you invisible, not really influential. Like it just if you're always busy like doing your stuff and doing busy work and you're not positioning yourself strategically, you're just gonna get things done. But then people are gonna say, okay, thank you very much, and then just keep going with their with whatever else they need to do. Also, you may hear network more. And to somebody who feels like they don't want to be seen as too ambitious anyway, and they don't like engineers, I want to say like in general, they don't like we don't like to be fake, right? We're not fake people. Like with engineers, you see what you get. But it doesn't mean that you can go out there and meet more people and network and really develop, build genuine friendships and know like you're especially the people that you work with. So when you're told network more in the beginning, it might feel a little awkward and random. Like who do you talk to? What do you talk to them about? What do you say? Like who? Like how? Where do you do this? So that's another bad advice that you get because it's not specific enough. Another thing that you may get is, hey, just apply to other jobs, right? But that really ignores your internal leverage, like all your accomplishments, everything that you've learned, everything that you've gone through. And if you don't address the root cause, you're just going to end up where you are now, just a little older in a different place. And we don't want to go through that, right? We want to make sure that you get it right. And you just need a smarter and more strategic approach. Now, here's the positioning framework I want to share here with you. And that is three key steps. That is, this is how you're going to break out of the career limbo and get paid what you're worth. So the first one is going to be visibility. Number two is going to be value framing. Three is going to be strategic ask. So let's go into each of these areas and change the trajectory of your career. So let's talk about number one, and that is visibility. Start being seen as a leader and not just a doer. Like if you really want to take your career to the next level, if you want to start leading people and you want to make more money and you got to have a bigger impact and you want to lead teams, then a few things that you got to do here. Number one, of course, there are ways that you can do this. So, but here's really the bottom line in the keynote. Speak up in meetings with ideas, insights, ask questions, prepare, stay engaged. Maybe also another way to stay engaged is not just showing up at work, but also like maybe going out to lunch with your team when you're at work, going out to outings and like you don't have to devote yourself to just being with your teams 100% of the time, but just go a simple 30-minute lunch will do it. A simple walk to get coffee will do it. A simple people hate those coffee talks at the coffee machine or the break room. But literally, that's how you build relationships. Like a lot of people just overlook this a lot. And if anything, it's really a great way for you to develop relationships with people. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be friends. You may, but that's really how you bond. Like a lot of people I just hear like too much like nonsense online. Like, oh, I just want to go and do my work and just like get it over with. Okay, well, get lucky in opportunities, right? So also when it comes to visibility, volunteer for cross-functional efforts or process improvements. Maybe your group, there's like there is communication or cohesive team effort with different organizations. Like share your wins and learnings with your team or leadership. Like learn to market yourself. This is just all like basic marketing and awareness that you exist, that you're getting things done, that you're helping the team save money or make more money or building customer relationships. And a simple email for your accomplishments for information, just for information, can do. Just like that's essentially honestly like what I do to this day. It's a simple copy to my boss and my director saying, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what I put together, this is what we're accomplishing, this is what we are. Just show up, like share that you're doing things, so don't just like keep it all to yourself and just hoping people notice because you don't want to brag and don't want to be seen as too ambitious. So let me know in the comments, by the way, if you relate to this, if you've gone through this, if you've seen people go through this. I really want to know. Like, I really, really, really genuinely want to know. Okay. So now step number two is value framing. And this is when you translate your work into business terms. Okay. Now, turning your technical work into business outcomes is a skill. And the more you think this way, the more you think like a CEO, like a business person, the more natural it becomes. So for example, very simple terms. You can even use ChatGPT. AI is amazing at doing this, right? You can just tell it, hey, these are my technical accomplishments, of course, without using any type of specific company information. Be careful with that. But just saying, hey, I accomplished this. Maybe I fixed the bug. And then ChatGPT will say, well, okay, what did the bug help accomplish? Oh, I helped prevent $20,000 per month in downtime. I helped prevent $20,000 per month in downtime. So that's a business outcome. That's language that business people understand. The owner of the company, the project manager, the program manager will understand that, or maybe you help mitigate a risk, right? Like we as engineers, we deal with risk, with potential things that could go wrong. If you mitigate something and you work with the team and you address it, okay, what does that mean? Do you help save schedule? Did you help make more money? Did you help save cost? Did you help improve the performance of a certain component or system? So use metrics like time saved, revenue enabled, cost avoided, quality improved. And at the end of the day, here's what you can do: reframing your past work like a case study that justifies a raise or promotion. Show what you accomplished and how you are helping the team and the company. So when you do this, people outside your discipline, and I'm talking more so about leadership, the higher ups will understand your impact. And you don't know this, but you'll be planting seeds. Like they'll pay attention, that they'll see you, that you're getting shit done, and they're gonna listen. Like with next time something comes up, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that guy, like John or Pepe, like, oh yeah, I remember. Like, what is he doing? Like, I saw that he was working on this, blah blah," and they may recommend you for a promotion. I've seen plenty of people who are great at what they do. They're great at making relationships. They get along with people. They are doers. They are great at visibility. They're always involved. And those are the people that just get promoted left and right. Like you probably won't go past 1 year or 2 years in a position. And 2 years is kind of like average, I want to say, because you also want to make an impact, or you don't just want to get promoted right away. But that's enough time for you to like, okay, now you are like ready for bigger and better things in your own journey. And also, like one thing that I've learned, guys, is when it comes to like bigger and bigger opportunities, like making it known and letting it be known that you want those big opportunities, that you want to be seen, that you want to make an impact. Right? Like just work with your leadership. If you have a mentor that can help you do this, it's and I mean like an internal like company mentor that can help you do this, it's amazing. Otherwise, it's going to be it's going to take a little bit more proactiveness for you to communicate that with your manager. Okay, so now let's talk about step three. Step three, this strategic asks, and this is when you make data backed requests with return on investment and time, right? So it's not enough to just ask. You have to make a case for yourself, bringing proof. You need to time it right, and you got to be confident about your ask. I've talked about this in the previous videos, but don't just ask for a raise. Show what you delivered and what you're planning to take on. Also, know your timing. Maybe the best time probably is bring it up during performance reviews or after a big win that you had, or maybe you had a big presentation, or maybe you had a big uh, meeting with your customer and your customer give you kudos and like, hey, man, you're doing a great job. You save us time. You have your schedule. Like you're making this process be more efficient, like something tangible that leadership can say is like, oh, okay, hey, man, Pepe, like John, Alex, like, yeah, the guy's like, it rocks, rock star. Also, research your value and be confident. Know what your skills are worth and ask with confidence, of course. So people won't hand you a promotion just like that. They won't just come to you like, hey, man, like, here's like, take some more money, like, you have to make an effort and let it be known. If this happens to you, then that's great. But you have to like most of the time you have to like let it be known, prepare, ask, and make it solid case for yourself. But now you might be asking, right? Okay, Alex, like, but man, like I'm afraid, like, what if they say no? Like, what do I do? And they might, right? That's really the reality. And if they do, you position yourself as somebody who's thinking bigger, who wants to make a bigger impact. You're signaling initiative, confidence, and really leadership potential. And that doesn't go unnoticed. So you still win by showing initiative and vision. Your leadership takes notice, even if change is slow. And ask your leadership also, what will it take for me to get the promotion? What will it take for me to get the raise? What will it take for me to get this other, maybe it is a lateral position, right? So it is a possibility that they can say no. So just know that you can be prepared and you are ready. And if they say, hey, there's nothing available that you have, then so be it. At least now you are aware of your options, of your limited growth. And from there, you can identify your next step. All right, so let's recap everything we talked about in this video. No one is coming to give you permission. The biggest cost is staying silent. You have more leverage than you think. And of course, playing bigger is a mindset. It's not really a title at the end of the day. You don't need permission. You don't need somebody to tell you, hey, go ahead and play bigger. So remember the following: playing small costs you more than you think. One missed promotion, hey, $20,000 a year compounding loss because in 3 years of stagnation, that's $60,000 left on the table. And you can change this by speaking up now and setting up the next income jump. So let's land the plane with what to do this week. So this week, you're going to pick one idea you've been sitting on, present it to your team or manager if that's something that aligns with what you have in your portfolio and your plans. Reframe it past wins. Reframe any type of past wins in terms of money, time, or quality. And you can also book a roadmap session if you want help positioning for your next $20,000 jump. And if you are interested in booking a call with me, the Strategic Engineer Blueprint is a strategic roadmap that transforms good engineers into high-earning, strategically minded professionals. And in 90 minutes, we'll discover the exact moves to break through income plateaus and accelerate your engineering career. And I'm going to leave a link to here, this page, where you can go and learn more about what you're going to get, how to get it, and of course, how I can help you best. If you are interested in learning more, take the link in the description, alexisito.com/mentor. And with that being said, my friends, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Peace.